Before I read this book, the only introduction I had to this work was a thread posted on dimensionsmagazine.com by user Chaboys. This user is named Percy and is in their early 20s. They use he, they pronouns. Percy is also from North Carolina, and they posted a Fetus book review titled Beauty is in the Eye of the Beholder, which I will link in the description below. This was the only context I had before going in besides my own Fetus experiences, but the fact that this work is behind a paywall, I think, is not very cool. I wish that more people could learn about Fetus content without having to pay money. I wish that everyone could read this work, but I understand that there are some limitations and restrictions on accessing it. I'm just going to try to represent this book the best I can, but there are always going to be some things left out in research and summarization type work. I do find the silences in archives very interesting, and my mentor, Dr. Jeff Musial, sent me a really interesting article about that I also want to talk about in this channel. So if you'd like to see that, please let me know. Feedism, Eating, Weight Gain, and Sexual Pleasure by Kathy Charles and Michael Palkowski. It uses the term mutual gainer as synonymous as someone who's both a feeder and a feedee. Someone who is a mutual gainer is sexually aroused by mutually gaining weight with someone, and not everyone who is a feedee and a feeder is interested in gaining weight. I myself identify as both a feedee and a feeder and all around feedist. However, I personally would not identify as a mutual gainer because I wouldn't want to gain weight with someone else. I don't want to gain weight at all. I find the idea of gaining weight like sexy and attractive, but that's not something that I currently want to pursue due to my own personal reasons. However, I do have a feeding myself, and I'm in a committed feedism relationship. I'm very happy with them, and I'm not looking for anyone else. I don't want to do fetus related things with anyone else, and I wouldn't ever really consider mutually gaining with somebody, so I don't personally use that term for myself, and that it tends to be how Charles Palkowski uses it, like interchangeable with someone who is a feedie and a feeder at the same time. Um, but they are different terms, at least in my brain. But everyone's entitled to their own perspective on these terminology. However, as as a fetus myself, I want to share what terms I personally use. Key themes that Charles and Pawlowski have found within their works have included an early attraction to fat, agency, and fantasy. I definitely feel like this is true within my own experiences as well as experiences of others I've spoken to within the community. And I definitely feel like that's an important aspect of fetism that most people don't talk about. A lot of the stuff that we talk about and we really enjoy that people think are scary or extreme are usually only in fantasy, and we're just playing pretend. Immobility, the concept of being so fat that one is immobile, is just not realistic unless you're a very specific type of person, unless you're wealthy and have immense support. And in reality, we are not in a society where fat people have that much support in a world that is not literally not built for them. But I feel like it displays agency as there's so much pressure to lose weight and to look a certain way, to say fuck you, I'm gonna be fat and be fat on purpose. Like it's so freeing to be able to just exist in a fat body and not have to worry about being fat, not having to worry about, will my partner like me if I gain 20 pounds, will my partner like me if I lose 20 pounds. Fuck, man, that's exhausting. Why would you want to live that way? When I look into my partner's eyes, I can tell that they love me for me and not for the body that I'm in, and that is such a freeing thing. And I've been this way for as long as I can remember. I've been a fetus as long as I've been trans, as long as I've been gay, as long as I've been myself. I've always been attracted to fat. Just like it's soft, it's nice. no complaints. The work reads, childhood fascination with fat is very common, and issues of agency are of considerable importance to this community, as they have often been depicted as coercive and deeply pathological individuals. The importance of fantasies as a place to explore the extremes of feudalism is also discussed, as a real life interest in issues such as immobility is very limited. I personally find extreme comfort in feudalism fantasies. I don't really know how to describe it other than finding the idea of being loved as an immobile person or loving an immobile person is just so intimate to me. The author suggests that awareness of fetishism should be improved amongst medical professionals. This awareness amongst medical professionals is important, as I believe that fetishism can bring people a lot of joy, but there also is health risks associated with being overweight, and I wish that more medical professionals understood that fetishism can make you happy and that being overweight can lead to health problems, and those things can coexist, and that they don't have to demonize being fat. They can just understand that some people choose to be fat and want to be fat, and help them do so in healthy ways, because you can be healthy and make healthy choices at any size. Also, the non coercive nature of fetishism and the potential happiness it can bring to those who practice this are often overlooked. There's this narrative of like a fetus, typically a man, who's like an evil feeder and lures in an overweight woman to becoming his feedie and fattening her up to immobility and eventually death. And I don't think that narrative is representative of most of the community. I don't necessarily think that's something that I ever would feel comfortable participating in. So I think that that's a topic that I'm not necessarily ready to approach on this channel, as it's not necessarily something I've had experience in and participated in. However, I do want to say that there's absolutely an aspect of fantasy, and if you want to do this in real life, I highly recommend seeking out like professional help. I don't think that's a healthy mindset. But, like I said, we don't kink shame on this channel. We don't judge. And if this is something that you are interested in fantasy and want to do purely as like playing pretend, that's okay and not a bad thing. That doesn't make you a bad person. And I think that talking about these types of feelings with a sex therapist or with your partners, or you should talk to your partners about this stuff anyway. But you should talk to your partners, maybe talk to a sex therapist, talk to some friends, and get some advice from other people in the community. But I do think that fantasy, like Charles Palkowski says, allows extreme fantasies to be explored safely, and you can explore things like death, fetism, and immobility through playing pretend. And I do think that is such a liberating thing, is to be able to like pretend to do these things and then not actually having to. I think that that's an aspect of this identity that is very, very commonly overlooked by mainstream media outlets. And fetus know that that is what a lot of people think of us as, and we want to fight that stereotype. That is not a stereotype that represents us. We are not coercive. There's a non-coercive nature to fetism, and I like that Charles and Pawlowski acknowledge that. I also like that this work suggests the potential happiness it can bring to those who practice it, as I definitely find a lot of joy in fetism and the way I experience it, the way it helps me view my body in a more positive light, and the way it allows me to connect with my partner. I definitely really appreciate all the experiences and the knowledge I've learned from other fetists, and I've had a lot of really loving, caring relationships through this community. I want my feedie to be happy. That is my 100% biggest priority whenever I'm participating in feedism and whenever I'm feeding them is, are they having a good time? Is my partner happy? And I feel like that should be anyone's prerogative when having sex is my partner happy? Am I having a good time? Are we both having a good time? And that's something I definitely want to emphasize. Charles and Polsky emphasize the importance of having legitimate participants practice in Feedism related research rather than those who have been victimized by those in the community. While their voices are very important and their stories deserve to be heard and acknowledged, it is not representative of the larger fetus community as a whole. For the purposes of this book, they write Feedism refers to sexual interest where individuals are sexually aroused by either gaining weight themselves as a feedee or by helping another person gain weight as a feeder. A person may adopt both of those roles simultaneously as a mutual gainer at different parts in their lives and their relationships. Like I previously mentioned, I don't personally agree with this definition of mutual gainer, but I do appreciate that they state that one can be a different one can take on a different role at different points in their lives and in different relationships. No matter what term you use, no matter what you call it, this community is better with you in it. I want to hear your different perspectives, and I would love to feature more fetus on this channel. So if you would like to be featured on this channel, please reach out to me. We can do faceless videos if that's more comfortable for you. I just want to have more conversations with other cool fetus online. And also in person, if anyone's in the New York, Philly, or New Jersey area and is a fetus, feel free to reach out and message me. I'd love to set something up. We could do like a fetus meetup or something like that. That would be really cool. There's also a large, diverse Tumblr feedism community, as Charles Palkowski state on pages 13 and 14. Tumblr is also stated. Sorry. Guy who's trying to charge their phone. Charge your phone so I can keep talking. I'm gonna put this in iMovie. Hi, editing trick here. River's listening to me edit, and they made a really good point, and I wanted to let them share what they were sharing because I think they're very smart and made a good point.
Oh, thank you. I was just thinking about how there's definitely an aspect of ableism when it comes to shaming fat people in general, whether it be in or out of the fetus community. Um, so I was just thinking there's plenty of people who are immobile due to an accident, a disability, all of the above, and they don't have a choice. And it feels weird to shame people for not wanting to move or not being able to move when so much of our society already exists that way and we're already so cruel to people like that. There's plenty of people who do exist, like I said, who are already immobile or less mobile for various reasons, and they're allowed to have fetishes too. They can be fat, they can be skinny, they can be anything in between, and they could be able to walk or not. Who cares? Everyone's allowed to have kinks, no matter how much you move or don't move, or how much you weigh. Um, and so the idea of policing someone's fetish because other people like are suffering is also strange, because people who are suffering are also allowed to have fun. Right? Like we're all allowed to have fun. We should be.
Yeah, and it's also like it's weird because like as someone who has like I want to say like I'm an ambulatory wheelchair user, but I tried to buy a wheelchair. It's too fucking heavy. I gotta return it and buy a new one. It it's a long story. But I got a lot of chronic pain, and I there are some days where it does hurt more to move than others, and that doesn't mean that if I wanted to do like immobility play on those days, that doesn't make me like a bad person. You can sexualize your disability because
Sexualize your disability today.
what River said. All right, back to the rest of my script. Love you guys. So yeah, I really just wanted to end on this note of the importance of fantasy and the um the actual reality of what it's like to be an immobile feedie and how difficult that really is, especially because it really limits the type of work you're able to do. Like not being able to work out of the house. I've been trying to find an online job for several months now, and I still been struggling to find one. So I can't imagine, you know, being, in a privileged enough state to be able to be immobile, to have the food to keep yourself at that size, and have the job to continue having those funds, or the inherited wealth to have those funds, and the security to not have those funds run out. Um, but as I'm ending off here, I think that this is going to be another video because I'm only like 12 pages in to this book, and I got another 100 or so to go of content I want to cover and the different topics that Charles and Palkowski bring up. So I just wanted to end it off here, and I will make a part 2 to this very soon. River wanted to end off on a few notes. River.
Hi everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. This is River here to end it off. I hope all of you wonderful people have a lovely day and love yourself. And remember that it's okay to have kinks and kinky thoughts and sexual thoughts and to have as much sex or as little as you would like. And I hope you're all having some safe sex out there as well.
Use
Um,
protection.
Please use protection if so inclined. Um, so yeah, stay safe out there. Click that subscribe button for more queer history from the coolest little dude. And hit that like button.
And also check out River's Instagram linked in the description below.
Aw.
They do really cool art, and I'm trying to convince them to do a queer art showcase with me, but they're still working up the courage. So if you guys would like to see that, please comment down below.
Yeah, if anyone knows how to make zines or is interested in participating in pretty much any kind of queer zine, hit me up. I got you.
Also, I want them to come on this channel and talk more about furry stuff because they made a really cool zine called Everyone should have a persona, yes, including you, and I think it's really good, and I'd love if they could show that off. So if you guys would like to see that, please let us know. And thank you so much for watching Queer Stream Matters. I'll see you guys in the next one. I actually have like 2 more minutes of filming time left of me doing my makeup, so feel free to watch that with whatever song you'd like in the background. Um, River, what's your favorite song at the moment?
I've been really getting into Sir Mix a lot. He's been on TikTok a lot, and he writes a lot of songs about being a horny guy, and I'm vibing with it.
Same, but Rob Apollo. I love that man. He's been on repeat lately. So yeah, pick a cool song, listen to the rest of this. I'll see y'all later. Bye.